Okay, so what do you do for ear training? Hey guys, so I'm making this video super last minute and I was wondering what to do this video on, and I want to get more music theory and ear training videos up here on my channel soon. So I thought today I would talk about what I use to do ear training as an audio engineer. So I've been a member of a website called SoundGym for a while now, and the URL is actually soundgym.co, not .com, just so you know. That actually tripped me up a few times. Anyway, I've been a member of the site for years now, and I am a paid member, and I really like it, and I still like it after years of using it. And I've noticed some people lately have been wondering what the paid version of SoundGym looks like and wondering what you get with the paid version. So I figured today I would just do a fun and easy walkthrough of what the site looks like, what it sounds like, what the exercises look and sound like, stuff like that. So just show you guys around. So I'll cut to a screen capture here in a moment and kind of show you guys around the site, and then I'll also show you what some of the exercises sound like so that you can see what it's all about. But before I do that, I just want to be clear that this is not a paid episode. So SoundGym is not paying me to make this video. I'm not that fancy. I just really like their service, and I know some people are curious about it. So I did reach out to them a while back though and ask if they ever do affiliate marketing. So I do have a link to the site in the description below on all my videos, and if you're interested in becoming a member and you use that link, you'll be supporting my channel. So there's that. They've also been kind enough to send us a coupon link, so the first 25 viewers here on my channel that use the coupon link listed in the description below can get 30% off the SoundGym Pro membership. So, with that said, let's do this. All right, so this is what it looks like when you first sign in. And here in the middle, you've got something that's kind of similar to a Facebook feed. So you can make a post yourself. You can look at what other people have posted. You can comment on posts. You can give props to posts, which is just like doing a like, you know. You have SoundGym making posts on here every so often. You have people, a lot of times people post a link to their mix and they'll ask for advice on a mix. So when people ask for advice on a mix, I actually see a lot of people commenting and giving feedback, giving advice, giving tips, or, you know, saying what they hear in the mix that's an issue, stuff like that, how to fix it. So it's actually pretty useful. I haven't done a ton of posting here on the feed, but I could see it being a really helpful community because it's just audio engineers, right? It's just audio and music people, I assume, for the most part. And I mean, it's no wonder when people make a post asking for advice that they get responses and they get tips and advice, because this site actually has over 150,000 members on it in over 200 countries. So that's a good amount of people. And it seems like the type of community where people are very willing to help out and they're very engaged in the community here on SoundGym. So that's one of the things that I really like about it. That and just the idea that it's a very targeted, not audience, but it's a very targeted group. You know, it's very specific to audio people. It's just audio ear training. So it's going to be more likely to have audio engineers, producers, people that would be involved in that side of things. So it is very targeted. It's very specific. So it's a great resource just for the community side of it, not even getting into the ear training part of it yet. Another pretty cool thing about it is that it's apparently been translated into 6 languages by members of the site. So, you know, if English is not your strength, you could then go look and see if SoundGym is offered in your primary language. So yeah, let's look at this main page more. So basically there's some stuff on the right here about followers and following. That's kind of like with any other social media. You can also run a search. I haven't really used that a ton. They have merchandise, which I haven't gotten into yet, but it's there. And then on the left side here, they also have a little section here for watching videos. So SoundGym actually has a whole section where you can watch videos and learn. And so it's a lot of links to things like YouTube videos, just educational, you know, how to produce, how to mix, how to record, that type of video. So it's really handy. And they actually have categories for the videos. So if you get to the Learn tab here, so you can see that they have here what they call learning programs. So it's like a track, you know, in an educational program. So if you want to focus on learning more about synth stuff, you could go to this one. If you want to learn more about live sound, you could go to this one. And then basically you can see some of your stats and stuff, and you actually get points for watching videos. So it encourages you to do that. That's another thing that I really like about this site is that they really gamify everything. So they make it kind of fun to keep going, keep racking up the points, racking up the coins. But I'll get into that in a minute. But basically, once you click on a program, you decide you want to learn about a certain program, you can click on it. And then they'll show you here how long the whole program is, and you can just start watching and start learning. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty easy. I think that's a fun feature. Okay, so let's go back to the main page. So going up here, we have SoundGym Heroes, which is just when SoundGym will pick a member each month, and then they will do an article about that person. And then this section here is because they run contests periodically. So you can actually enter in these contests and you can win SoundGym coins and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. It's fun. It's a cool way to keep you going, you know? And these contests that they run, they're in a category on the site called the SoundGym Olympics. So I thought that was kind of fun. But you know, I haven't gotten super into this part of the site. I've just kind of explored it a little bit so far. So coming back up towards the top here, these are the two sections that I look at the most. So the top here is your daily workout. So usually when I sign in here, this is the first thing that I'll look at. So each day they pick a different set of games here for you to play as your daily workout. So each day these games are going to be a little bit different because there's 5 games here. So they have more than 5 games total. So it's kind of like a rotation coming through here in these 5 slots. So usually what I do is I sign in, I go straight here and I hit start training. But sometimes I'll take a look at this before I start or after I finish, and you can go to your profile, you can check out how you rank compared to others on the site, and I think that's compared to like all of the users on the site. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that's what that is. And then you have your SPI rank, which is how they get your percentage rank, I believe. And then you have your sound coins. So that's what you earn when you do your daily workout. And then if you win one of the contests, stuff like that. So the sound coins, you can cash them in for some pretty cool stuff. I'll talk about that in a minute though. And then you have the learning points, which again has to do with watching those videos in the Learn Center up here at the top. So when I go to do my workout, I'll look here and then I'll go straight to the start training section. And you'll see here it queues up your first game. So here's my first game. It matches this icon here, which was the first icon on that list that we saw a second ago on the last page. And you can see what your current level is on the game. You can see what your high scores are in this one game. And then you can see the description for the game right here. So you can see what's involved in the game if you don't remember it or if you aren't familiar. And you can see at the bottom here that you can choose between different types of sounds, types of music that you can actually play the game with. So for this game, it's pretty limited. I could switch it if I wanted to. But you'll see when we get into the other games here that I'll actually have a whole bunch of options for some of the games. And actually we have these basic ones that are this color, but then we also have they're kind of like expansion packs that you can buy with your sound coins so that you can play with different types of music, stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. And then before you play the game, you can actually hit this how you compare button to see how you rank compared to other people on the site for that one game, that one specific game. So I'm just going to show you guys how this game works. So you hit play and then it's going to load it up. And once it's loaded up, you can just hit this play button and it starts the game. I'm just going to mute it here really quick so I can tell you about it. So basically you're going to hit the different play buttons in any of the games. It's kind of the same setup. There's some play buttons or there's a compare before and after for processing. And then in the example of this game, when you decide which one stands out and has a different reverb from the other two, you then hit the select button for that sound. And it's that simple. So it's really cool. It's really easy. It's got a pretty sleek interface. These people down here will change appearance, which is kind of fun. You can see your score up here on the left. You can see what stage you're on. A lot of the games have 12 stages, and so you have to answer correctly basically 12 times. So if you get one wrong, you lose a life over here. And then it goes down a number. So you do have to get 12 correct to proceed to the next level, but you can get a few wrong. So usually it's 3 lives, but it does depend on the game. And that's basically how it works. So I'm just gonna go through this really quickly and then get to the next game. Okay, so once you're done with the game, you can choose to play it again if you want. I've done that a few times. A lot of times I just go through all these games once and then I call it a day, but you can choose to play it again if you want to, especially if it's like a game that you just started and you feel a little weak on, you can choose to play it a few times to get kind of like beefed up on it. But that's an option that appears once you play it. And then the other thing that changes is once you've completed it, a little check mark goes here and it gets all colorized here, which is kind of fun. So then what I usually do is I play it once. whether or not I bomb it, I will then just hit continue training and move on. Because I don't have a ton of time to spend on this, but I do try to do this every day. I actually put it on my calendar as a thing that I do every day, and I try to make sure that I do it every day. I don't always end up doing that, and on the weekends I tend to just skip it, but I try to. I think it's made a huge difference too for me personally. I've definitely learned to hear some things more critically and more carefully and been faster at hearing and recognizing things since I started SoundGym. So I think it's helped. So this is actually one of the newer games that they have here. So I'm just going to hit play here. But basically it's just testing your ability to remember like the mixing levels for a few different tracks. So there's usually like a drum track, a bass track, a synth track, and then like a lead track. And you just have to remember the balance and then try to recreate it. So I'll show you that. And then you can compare yours to the original here so you can see the balance difference. And you can also see how accurate you were. This is pretty bad for me, actually. But once you go into the red, you then get it marked wrong for that one step, that one stage in the game. But if you get it close enough, then what happens is you progress on to the next stage. So I'll be on stage 2 after this. I haven't lost any lives. I'll just continue. Okay, and this game is just a game where you guess the delay time. And also for these games, they have a video on how to play the game that you can access and watch if you're not sure about what the experience is going to be like or like what you're supposed to do. So I'm just gonna hit play. Ugh, I should have listened to the one without delay on that one because I might have gotten it right if I'd done that. Sometimes I get rushed and then I just kind of like guess really quick and I see how my like quick intuition is with it. And sometimes that does me well, sometimes it doesn't. I've also noticed too, by the way, it's late right now. I think it's like 9 p.m. But when I usually do these in the morning because I tend to do a lot better in the morning. So you might notice if you start doing stuff like this that you do a lot better at certain times of day. I think that's kind of interesting. Okay, and so this game is just a compressor game. So it's going to play you 2 sounds, and then you guess which one is more compressed. And you know, a lot of times I'll check this how you compare button before I play and then after I play to see if I made any kind of improvement. The numbers tended to move a lot more when I first started using this site, but every once in a while, you know, I creep up a little bit, so it's kind of nice. Whenever they come out with a new game, too, I'm usually like really low in percentage until I've played it a whole bunch. I don't know if some people just play them over and over when they come out with a new game so they get ranked higher. I'm not sure. But in this game, I just listen to the snare to see how it sits in the mix. So usually if it seems like it's popping out more in the mix, then it's less compressed, right? So usually I'll listen to each segment of music a few times just to kind of get used to it, get it kind of internalized a little bit, and then I'll go listen to the second version to, hear the difference. But yeah, I'm basically just listening to the snare, how it sits in the mix, if it pops out more. Sometimes I'll listen to the tail end of the snare or like the cymbals, how much those are coming through, stuff like that. But mostly I just listen to the snare for this one. And then this one, they have a few different games that are like this, where it's different versions of EQs and you have to guess the frequency or guess the frequency band or something like that. But you'll see this one is one of those games that I was talking about where there's a whole bunch of options down here for what type of music you can listen to while you play the game. And all of these where it's not just this one color are extras that I got with my sound coins. So I'm just going to hit play game here. And sometimes I'll get kind of rough with this. I'll kind of just go for the general area and I don't really think too hard about what exact frequency I'm hearing. I just kind of go for the general area and then click there. And that's because I know for this part of the game, at least, I have this wide a frequency band. So it's like over 300 hertz. That's the range it looks like. But yeah, I'll just go kind of rough with it and just kind of click in the general area because the frequency band is so wide here. But as you get into these different stages of the game here, this frequency band will just get thinner and thinner. But that's basically this game. And that's what happens if you get it right on the exact frequency. It does a little perfect and you get extra points for it. So if you're into it and you really want to take the time, you can get really precise with where you click. So you'll see it gave me an extra life because I made it to the third stage. So that's another thing that they do sometimes. And sometimes I click by accident when I'm in there. But that's basically it. That's my workout. Now my workout is all complete. So usually that's all I do for the day. And then I just hit finish workout. And then once you're done, you can collect your sound coins. And then if you want, you can go to the use sound coins page. I mean, I don't know if that's what it's called, but you can see up here, it tells you how many sound coins you have. You can earn more. It's like the usual, like share our site with your social media people, stuff like that. But I just do the daily workout for the most part. And then you can see here, these are the different options that I had active for some of the games. So these I paid for with sound coins, right? So I just play the games, I get the sound coins, and then I can get these new sounds to actually play the games with. So that's kind of cool. You can also get, this is a new section here. That's why I don't have any of these yet. But you can get drum machines for your like digital studio. It doesn't really mean much, but they have a little studio that you can fill out. It felt kind of good to get a complete studio when I got that. You can get sample packs. I'm going to get this one next, I think. I have enough for it. I just have to sit down and download it when I'm ready to back it up to my hard drive and my online backup. But I'm going to do that. But those are pretty cool. And it's like, these are completely free besides the membership, right? You just play the games and get the points, and then you can get these samples, stuff like that. You can also get, it's basically like coupons off of classes at Hyperbits, so that's kind of fun. And then this is the studio part. So these are all the things that you can equip in your studio using those sound coins. So I got a complete studio. So if you go to Enter Studio, it's like on your profile. It's part of the profile. You can see that I have everything here except a girl. Anyway, then you also have your profile here, so you can put some info about yourself, what you use, stuff like that. And then there's different spaces that you can join. So there's the Olympics, which is the whole thing for the contests that they run. There's the cafe, which is just where people post and comment and stuff on it, stuff like that. So you can join spaces on here. You can interact with people. I haven't done a ton of this yet. I really should take advantage of it more. But then up here, up at the top, you have like different awards that you've gotten through playing in the game, stuff like that. So let's see, that's basically it. You have your games, so you can look at all the different games here. I'm not going to go over all of these. DB King's kind of fun. They just ask you what the change in decibels is. And it'll get to the point, like once you get up to a certain level, it'll ask you stuff like, is this 1.5 or 2 decibels difference? That's kind of where I am right now. It's testing me on those. But yeah, all these games, they get harder the more you play them because you're going up in levels, right? Pan Man's fun, so you just have to guess the panning location for the sound. That one's pretty fun. Kit Cut's like the opposite of the EQ boost. Oh, I am so bad at EQ Cheetah. So basically it's like the EQ game that I showed you guys a minute ago, except you're on a timer. So you have to get like 25, I think, of them right within a certain amount of time. And I'm such a slow, I don't know. I always want to be sure. I don't want to like just do it and guess, but like to get through all 25, you basically have to listen to the processed version and then hit unprocessed for 1 second and then go, or just even know, after a while you get to know the bass music that it's working with. And sometimes I don't even have to hit the button to listen to the unprocessed one. But when you first start, it's like, I'm not an EQ cheetah. That's it. It's just not who I am. And so this one's pretty cool too. So it's just a distortion game. So basically it's a lot like the compressor game. So there's 2 versions and you just have to guess which one is more distorted. So that one's pretty cool too. I like that one a lot. But these are all the different games that can and do show up in your daily workout. But you can also just go to play the games whenever you want. So that's another way you can access them. They also have an ear doctor section of the site where you can do, it's basically like, it's a lot like the test they do at the ear doctor where they play a sound and they have it go down in frequency until you can hear it and then you hit a button on the keyboard or what have you. But yeah. And then I have not gotten into this, but it looks really cool. They have these hourly real-time beat making competitions that actually look pretty cool. So they look really cool. I haven't tried any of these though, so I can't really comment on what these are like, but I'm going to try these soon because I didn't even know that these were here. And then you can go see your stats. This is actually pretty handy. So it'll tell you kind of where your weak points are. So it shows you how you compare to people on the site, and then you can go through each game and it'll show you how you're ranking for that game on the site, what level you're on, stuff like that. So you can kind of just check up on how you're doing here. And then you can also see they have like the insights here. So, I'm usually doing this, I don't know, 12 a.m. I thought I'd have more in the morning here. So you can see here, like when you're actually playing the games, what your behavior is like. I'm actually kind of surprised by this because I thought that I tended to do this in the morning more, but I guess I'm doing this at lunch break more than I think I am. But anyway, there's that. You can see, some facts about how you've been working, how you've been playing. How often you've played the game. So like this one, it's a new game, so I haven't played Balance Memory all that much, so that's probably why I'm ranking pretty low on it right now. I haven't like gone through and just chosen to play that over and over, and so this is what I think is the really valuable section of this page, is that you can actually see where your weak points are. So for stuff like the boost and the attenuation exercises for EQ, and then for the Pan Man game, so the stereo field stuff, you can actually see what sections you're weakest in. So I think that's really valuable information. You could do something with this information, right, to try to get better, try to improve. I just think it's really cool. And then this page just shows you information about your training history. So it looks like I actually joined in 2016. That's pretty cool to see, right? So you can see how you're doing with SPI, which is your ranking right here. You can see here how you're doing in terms of your performance for each game. So you can switch between these games to see how your performance has been over time. So you can see some of these games have been around a lot longer than others. Like this is the new one, right? So there's this, almost nothing, and then boom, it goes. If you want to get nerdy about your analytics here, they actually supply you a good amount of information. Then your learning information tab over here, you can see how you're doing. I didn't even notice the learning videos for a while, and then I started watching them. Every once in a while I'll watch one. I'm not super good about this part of the site though. Beat rates, performance, So I haven't gotten into this yet. I haven't used any of these games. The beat race stuff, literally haven't looked at yet. So I don't even know how I'm ranking at all here, but apparently I am. So cool. But you can see the same type of information here as you see for the other games. So that's pretty cool. So then if you go to the Olympics tab over here, you can see what's currently running. You can join and try to enter the contest. You can hang out. You can talk about whatever the games are. You know, there's a little wall here. There's a bunch of ranking widgets here in terms of how it's going, what the current jackpot is. And I do believe they increase the jackpot as people enter the game. So that's kind of fun. It's kind of like actual gambling or entering into contests sometimes, right? And then we have this beat race tab, which again, I have not gotten into, but it looks pretty cool. I'm going to actually try this out at some point. Ooh, there's a bar. That's fun. Ooh, I can click on it. I can order stuff at the bar. I have no idea what the drinks do for you. Champagne. Yes, please. Is there vodka? I gotta find the vodka. Yes, vodka. So I guess you can get drinks here. I don't know. Looks cool. So that's my story about Beat Race. Sorry, it's kind of short. I don't use Beat Race, so. And then I showed you guys this Learn tab. And then these little icons just have drop downs for some more information, some more stats, stuff like that. One of the things I really love about this site is that they have this donate sound coins section. And they're actually, at least for now, they're actually donating. When people donate their sound coins, they'll actually donate subscriptions to Sound Girls, which is, you know, one of those organizations that helps women get into audio. So, you know, near and dear to my heart. I thought that was really cool. It's such a great idea. It's definitely one of the reasons to like SoundGym. You get notifications over here, just like on Facebook, so you can see if people are commenting, interacting with you in any way. And then you have a messages section, which I'm clearly not using, but it's there. And then your icon over here just shows you your profile and stuff like that. So it's just the usual icon for a profile. It's pretty similar to other social media sites, you know, if you look at the actual layout of the site. But yeah, I think that's probably a much more in-depth tour of the site than you guys needed. So I'm going to sign out here. So that's it. That's SoundGym. So let me know in the comments below if you guys have any questions on this. I know I probably didn't cover every aspect of the site, but other than that, I hope that you guys liked this video. So as usual, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. For today's question, I want to know, what kind of ear training do you do? And are you guys doing more musical ear training, or are you guys doing ear training that's more geared towards audio engineers, kind of like what I'm doing here? Are you guys using a service, or are you designing your own exercises? I'm super busy-lazy, so I, for the most part, am just using SoundGym and kind of calling it a day for ear training, but I do kind of fantasize about being an overachiever about my ear training, so maybe I'm looking for other suggestions here too. Anyway, please leave your answers in the comments below. So thanks guys. As usual, if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, watch my other videos, all that stuff. Or to support my channel more directly, you can check out my Patreon at patreon.com/CatoNoise. And that's where you can get access to additional content that's for patrons only. So that's just about it. I'll be coming out with new videos every Wednesday, and thanks for watching. Okay. So I recently became an official, I have a card, like an official ID card. So I became an official puppy sitter for Guide Dogs for the Blind. So now I get to puppy sit guide dogs in training every so often. So that's pretty cool. It's been a lot of fun. I've been learning a lot about dog training, which is really cool. I got really into clicker training with my bunnies, and now it's kind of seeping out into the dog world a little bit. But I love it. It's a lot of fun. I did summer snowboarding in Mammoth recently for the first time. That was really cool. I've done summer snowboarding before. Blah. I've done summer snowboarding before, but I haven't done... Oof. All right, well, I think I'm done. I'm gonna go downstairs where it's cooler because it's too hot up here, and I'm gonna maybe take a nap. I don't know.